Hey Retro Gamers, and welcome to another episode of Retro Game On. Today we're jumping into a review for RC Revenge, released to the sticky and smelly masses in 2000 by Acclaim Entertainment. This is no ordinary racing game, because for one, it's not very good. And I guess because of that statement, it means that every ordinary racing game is good. So yeah, let's just roll with that. I'm not going to go back on my previous statement. The other oddity is that you race RC cars, very much like the ones you had when you were a kid. They would run on 8 AA batteries and last about 20 minutes. As to why these particular RC cars are so vengeful, I don't know. But let's get into the nitty gritty. For starters, the sensitivity is way off. I do immediately switch from analog to digital. It's like steering a wet cow. You push an arrow button once or just slightly push the stick and you'll impossibly veer off in that direction. It's pretty ridiculous even if you are steering an RC car. This is a hard game to pick up. You feel like you've been slapped in the face with a piece of raw meat the first time you play it, which isn't a great way to start a game. All the tracks are based off movie genres. There are sets based around horror, sci-fi, action, and cartoon films, all of which have several different variations. It's mostly land-based, but there are boating levels too. Some levels even switch between the two and give you a choice as to what you want. Personally, I found the boats way easier, probably because there's less shit to crash into. This is the sort of racing game that has square corners and gaps you need to squeeze through, as well as objects scattered around that can be crashed into, which will stuff you up. If you miss that gap or crash into that square corner, it's all over. You'll lose your position faster than you can say Mario Kart ripoff. Needless to say, playing the tracks a few times definitely helps, as remembering where all those bastard corners and gaps are give you the upper hand after a while, even more so when you're playing your poor ignorant friends. Just like any sensible Mario Kart clone, there are plenty of pickups scattered around the track. Some are more useful than others, like the Lightning Storm one or the pickup that lasers any opponents near. Others just give you a shield or drops bombs behind you. Having a shield may sound lame in such quickly progressing gameplay, but the opponents are quite trigger happy, so it definitely has its benefits. Like I said before though, suddenly getting taken out while you're doing so well is frustrating on an indescribable level, but getting yours back with the power-ups is immensely satisfying. Yeah, get some! There are a multitude of cars to choose from, all of which have their own specs and their own boat version too. To be honest though, all of them seem pretty samey. In samey I mean that they all handled like balls. The graphics in this game are definitely the high point. The worlds are quite detailed and you often get distracted by all the stuff to look at. One such example is the Monster Water map. Not only are there heaps of statues of monsters scattered everywhere that growl at you when you boat on past, but the water looks nothing short of brilliant for a PS1 game. I've said it before though and I'll say it again. Graphics don't make a game. This game may be pretty, but it's still a bad game when it comes to the gameplay. There really isn't much to talk about when it comes to the sound design. The sound effects spread throughout the map are a nice touch. For example, the monsters growling at you as you pass by, but the music was fairly average. Sometimes it would just stop abruptly and you just race in complete silence. I found it pretty funny actually. It only played for about 10 seconds and that's how long it takes to figure out that the game isn't the greatest. In a sad way, it's like the game starts to collapse in on itself. One thing I wonder about this game though is its purpose. I mean, isn't just racing RC games questionable? I mean, who's controlling them? Is there a secret storyline of the puppeteers? And if they're puppeteers, is that just an alternative representation of politics in capitalist countries? Or it could just be a standard PS1 game and that's just how they were in those days and I should just shut up and just continue playing it. Ultimately though, the shortcoming of this gameplay is just how random it can be. One point, you're becoming first and everything will be rosy, and the next second that position is ripped away from you as you barrel out of control into an object or get blasted by an opponent. Suddenly you're coming fifth, and it's absolutely frustrating as there's no consistency whatsoever as to what to expect. You'll spend the whole race bracing yourself for that oncoming failure, and I just don't want to have to deal with that. In this ideal world, there are a lot of other racing games out there that are a lot more fair and are demanding my attention. This game just pushes itself to the bottom of the pile. Its one salvation is the graphics, maybe coupled in with the multiplayer. I didn't get a chance to try it out because I have no friends, but if you're into shit talking while playing with a mate, maybe this game is for you. At the end of the day, I paid $1 for this, so it does make it a lot cheaper than Crash Team Racing or Mario Kart. Anywho, thank you kindly for watching. Don't forget to push those buttons. You know the buttons I'm talking about. Buttons that every YouTuber asks you to push at the end of their video. See you next time.